Hi everyone. So this is for week 3 of class suspension in Form 1 English. We've assigned Anthology Units 15 and 16 for week 3. So let's take a look at Unit 15 first. On the topic, a word of advice. So this is an advice column in terms of the text type. And the topic is Ask Dr. Wright. And if you take a look at the picture, we believe that she is some kind of psychologist, counselor, maybe giving advice in the context of a teen advice column, as you can see here. So advice means what? It is a noun, it means suggestions, and I believe many of you would have known this word before, would have learned this word before. And this is to clarify things that is spelling. Because for some students, you might be wondering why some of the times that I have explained it in the class, in the lesson, why advice sometimes is spelled as advise, then obviously you see this is the British English and it's a verb. It means to give suggestions. And some might think that you have seen and you have used it as a verb as well. It is American English, so you see here, American English, also spelled as advice. It also means to give suggestions, so this is like a little bit of extra information for your reference. And the next word I would like to talk about would be afford. In line 3, my parents can't afford this. Afford means to bear the costs or to pay. So in this situation here, my friends only wear designer clothing and my parents can't afford this. Afford here would mean afford buying these kind of expensive designer clothing. So designer clothing, it means brand name clothes. Well, you can take a look at the pictures. Some of them usually bear well-known international brand names. It would be relatively pricey, and but most of the time for teenagers, it would be a little bit less likely for them to wear. So afford means to pay, and designer clothing, it means brand name products, brand name clothes. Another word is self-esteem. It means self-confidence. Self-confidence, how you perceive yourself, how good you think you are, or how bad you think you are. Next word is overpriced. It's an adjective. It means too expensive. So you can kind of guess over and price and put them together. It means the price might be a little bit too much, too expensive, too pricey. Another word is tease in paragraph 4. Tease is a verb. It means make fun of, and you can take a look at the picture. This guy here is teasing another guy, and this is skinny guy. As you can tell from the picture, he's rather skinny, so he's being made fun of. Next word is build. So in paragraph 6, build, second line, paragraph 6, and you might be thinking, of course you know what the word build means, but here build is a noun. Build, it means your body structure, bodily structure, how large, how small you are. It's not a verb. If it's a verb, you know it's to establish something. Build here, it's your body. So after explaining these words to you, I suppose that you should be able to work on these 5 questions in the section vocabulary. And I've chosen a few questions which I think that are relatively more challenging, as I did last time. Well, for most of the questions, I wouldn't be giving the answers directly, or I wouldn't be giving the answers at all, because I would like you to identify those, keywords and try to work that out in the right way instead of giving the answers. That would be a bit meaningless. So I'd like to try it out before looking at these, the following. If you haven't done it, so I would suggest you taking a look at it first. So this is for question number 2. According to Dr. Wright, the purpose of advertisements is. Keywords are Dr. Wright. So you're going to look for where Dr. Wright has been stating her ideas. The purpose. Purpose means why of advertisements. So what would be the advertisements doing? Why do we have advertisements in the first place? Okay. So the first, let's take a look at the options. First one is to make people feel unhappy. So this is negative. When we are deciding which one should be the most appropriate answer, we kind of identify and categorize them according to whether they are positive or negative. So A, to make people feel unhappy. B, to tell people they cannot be cool. So both of them are negative. C, to promote expensive items. It's rather neutral. So promote here means to make something sound nice. To promote something, to make it sound nice, to make people buy these expensive items in this context. D, to create fashion trends is also neutral, neither positive nor negative. To tell people what is fashionable to wear. So here is the hint. If you take a look at these lines that I've underlined, the third line of paragraph 2, advertisements want us to think that we're cool only if we wear expensive designer clothes. So some students would simply resort to answers that are having the most similar wordings that is here, to be cool, to tell people they cannot be cool. If you are choosing option B, I would have to say I'm afraid it is not the right answer here, because here, advertisements want us to think that if we are cool only, that we are cool only if we are wearing those expensive ones. So advertisements are trying to tell you you can only be cool putting on these expensive clothes. So what do you think now? Do you still think it's option B? So option A is obviously option A, feel unhappy. There's nothing to do with it, so you can simply cross out it crosses out right away. And B, cannot be cool, also negative, but this one here is rather neutral. It's just telling you the function of advertisement. So I'm hoping here up to this point you'll be able to figure out the right answer. So up to question number 6. Dr. Wright tells Skinny Guy to keywords Dr. Wright. First one, ignore his teammates' comments. Ignore means not to be bothered with or not to think about what his teammates are telling him about. B, keep doing sports. C, find a sport that is more suitable for him. And D, all of the above. So you might be thinking, is it usually the most valid answer if you're choosing D, all of the above? I'm telling you, this is not necessarily the case. So let's take a look at the whole paragraph. You say you like sports, so how about trying sports that are more suited to your body type? Keywords here, the hints that I'm going to give you here. How about means to give advice? How about, or people usually say, what about doing this? Have you ever tried doing this? How about trying sports? So we've figured out the first one, doing sports. Okay, one of the options, and then you would just go right ahead choosing B. Would that be the case? That are more suited to your body type, your build is perfect. So you have to be a bit patient to finish reading the whole paragraph of what Dr. Wright would suggest. It's perfect for distance running, track events. Someone who is good at the shot put, for example, wouldn't make a great marathon runner, and that's alright. So the last line, I've underlined it for you as well. Just don't give up what you love because of what others say. So this is also to do sports, and you have to look for the right sport for yourself according to your build, means your bodily structure. So what about now? Do you still think it's B only? Alright, on to the next question, question number 7. Who does them refer to in line 4? So this kind of referencing question, if you still remember, I have mentioned it earlier on in Unit 14, and that is like an all-time classic, like a staple in the mid-year exam and also in the public exam DSE papers. So here, them. Let's look for the word them in line 4. I feel embarrassed whenever I go out with them. So them here, in line 4. I have mentioned it before, if you have to look for the answer, you usually have to look back, as this is what we call referencing, refer to what have been mentioned before. So them, obviously, would mean my friends. But is it the case? Are you going to put down my friends only? I hope that nobody would be choosing my parents, thinking that, yeah, them, plural, my parents, there you go. Then that would be so very wrong of you thinking about it. So my friends, would that be the right answer to say my friends? Would that be not clear enough? My here means what? My refers to something as well. So who is writing this paragraph? Then you should be able to come up with the right answer. Okay, so this is only the hint, not the answer. On to the next question, true or false not given. Take a look at the first statement. Advertising changes how people feel about themselves. Keywords are changes how people feel about themselves. Here, I've underlined those hints for you. Advertisements want us to think that we're cool only if we wear expensive designer clothes. So, advertisements trying to do something to our mind. So you get the answer. The second statement. Advertisement helps many people with their self-esteem. Helps many people with their self-esteem. Here helps means to boost it, to increase their self-esteem, to improve it. So basically it's positive. We'll look for the word self-esteem on the same line, in the same paragraph. Especially teenagers lose their self-esteem as a result. As a result of those advertisements, they are losing their self-esteem. So is it helping? Here is the last statement. Statement number 3. All advertising campaigns are expensive. All advertising campaigns are expensive. So you're going to look for information that are related to the price of advertising campaigns or advertisements. So basically advertising campaigns means advertisements. Are these expensive advertisements, or what is being promoted or what are being promoted on the advertisements are expensive? So try not to mix them up for the third statement. So on to the next question. Question number 13. Who is the target audience? So target audience, if you still remember, it means who would be reading this advice column. Then we have elderly people, teenagers, adults, or children. Well, it says here, teen advice column. If you're not convinced, we can also take a look at the first 2 lines in the first paragraph. We have to wear a uniform to school, so dressing up at the weekend is a big deal. So who or what kind of people would be wearing uniform to school on weekdays, and they're only allowed to dress up, put on casual wear at the weekend? So this is it for this unit. Please have a try on the rest of the questions in Unit 15. If you have any further questions, you may leave comments. Thank you.